this whole thing is fixed. And if the transition comes, the people will hate the system. It's automatic. And they hate anyone that participated in it. So the smart thing for the immigrant community to do now, since you see what you got, pull back from the system. You can't get nobody in there in the next so many years to say nothing. The Negro lady, Miss Umar, whatever her name was, she said kind words about Israel. All she said was, you can't even speak about, they said, that's damn right you can't speak about it. You can't do nothing. You just go there, sit on that toilet stool and shut up. That's what they told her. And guess what? Basically what she did. She went over there and everybody walked over there. The rest of the Democrats walked her to the SHIT house to rest. Okay, now here's the thing though, you gotta think about it. If they, it's true, if they stay away from the government in the early stages and go to the people, well, we're going to follow the Jews. The Jews, well, I said the Jews didn't go to the government first. The Jews went to black people, you don't understand. In the South, the Jews all was hanging with, they had stores and shops, and it was, the Jews was pushing the Negro. The Jews pushed the NAACP. The Jews pushed everything they had. They come schools in behind them. They sure did. They come in, they didn't go out and say, we are oppressed. They said, the Negroes oppressed. I say, y'all don't understand nothing about American history. They don't even get Martin Luther King, the clown, Imam Masjid out there. We have to do like Martin Luther King. He had a dream. I said, that's 63 King. You ever heard of my American Nightmare? No. I said, well, you don't know nothing about no Martin Luther King, the biggest purveyor of injustice and killing and murder. This is a military-industrial complex here in America. You never heard that? No. I said, well, you don't know nothing about no Martin Luther King. You know, you got the picture they gave you, 63 King, not no 68 King. But anyway, let me move on. You can see the direction we're headed, not to try to touch off. We're headed in a direction of revival for the Negro and revision for the immigrant community, and as much cooperation as possible. Okay, it's easy to say all this, but that's where we're headed. You know, we're not headed, remember, they cannot choose. Like the people come in and say, where's the people? What are you talking about? You can't choose what we're gonna do. They hang you up and slow you up and punch a hole in all your tires and do everything they want to do, and then they want to tell you, now go get the people. I say, you didn't run the people off. It would be crazy. You run the people off. I said, that's shaping and hurting. You shape our behavior, and pretty soon you hurt us on down the road where you want us to go. We're not doing that. But we're not, we want to ameliorate, we want to smooth this picture out. We don't want people to think that we're angry about what's happened in our community. This is natural. For people to join and leave is natural, right? It's natural, it's natural. Okay. To face certain attacks with police backing is natural. Whether, if you're an American's friend, whether it's Yemen, whether it's anywhere else, you can do what you want. If you Guaido, whatever it is down in Venezuela, you can do anything you want. As long as it's against Maduro or anywhere in the world. If you're America's friend, it's okay. If you're not their friend, you can't do anything right. Okay. And we're not dissatisfied, nor are we disappointed that we shouldn't have anything coming from us that gives even a feeling of disappointment. We're really living the life we want to live. Now, you got to look at what, so far, we're light years in the stuff that we've put up with already, it explains clearly. But we're going to explain it in a way to where it's not like just showing them the picture and they get paranoid. No, we want, in time, we'll bring that stuff back out. But after we've explained over the years what we were doing, but we can explain now that we have the ability to sustain ourselves. We want to let them know that just a minute, if you don't have fear and what have you, you can do something here in America. One writer, what was he called? Fear. False evidence appearing real. Fear. False evidence appearing real. F-E-A-R, fear. If you stand up against the United States, you're going to have this and that happen to you. Well, this and that don't technically have to happen to everybody. But if you're conditioned to that false evidence appearing real, you'll never do anything because simple fear. So it's the same war we've always been fighting. Self-image psychology, all of those things are the same. That we have to work with people on, and we have to continue to work with ourselves on. Those things are real. Okay. So, the crackpots, we don't have we don't have a whole lot of time for them, this transition. What we're going to do, I'm not going to talk about exactly how, but we're going to go back to Oakland. We're going to do what we have to do. It'll be almost like a move back there, and I'll come here every now and then. But we're going back there, and we're going to take care of all the things that we want to take care of. And there's technically nothing they can do about it because they've already done what they did. Okay. So remember, we've stood the test of time. I can't relate to the people here the stuff that we've all put up with, but we have never succumbed to girls. We've never succumbed to wealth or anything. It's just like when we just talked about feeding the people down there. We didn't say we better have a fundraiser. Well, we got the money, we'll go down there. Okay, everybody that knows that's been the position. It's always a position. Okay, that we're going to do something for other people. We don't demand that other people do nothing for us. We never have. People say we should, but look, Allah is clear in the Quran. You can't do nothing good without a reward coming for that good. That's just the way it is. So we've stood the test, girls, money. We know the value That's the game. The game helped, man. The game, when I say the game. By the way, a good friend of mine passed away last week. Willie Ward, he was the last of the Ward brothers to pass away. He was about 81. And before the government took my little money that I wanted to give him a little package. And that's why anytime you want to do something, you should do it then and not wait. Because he didn't even remember when I reminded him. One night we was down at the California Hotel. He had his friend, and once we was at my Broham's, so he had Doc was with me, that's my friend, and Zolly King was his friend. So we was snorting cocaine, and this was in a period when we was having, you know, when you get that, when you just big rich, getting richer. So I hadn't abandoned my discipline of saving money, but we're just on a spree. Now everybody else is on that spree. When that spree is over, they look up, everything would be gone. This happens to Hollywood, it happens to everybody. They get on a blow street, this street, and they look up, and everything is gone. So we finished up one little package, and I looked around, I said, got any more of that thing back there? So Willie Ward told me, he said, if you keep that up, you won't be captain of the ship. I didn't play like I didn't hear him or nothing. When I got home, I went straight to the hills the next morning, went straight back to the iron pile. When I come to the nightclub, I'd have a tight t-shirt on and a Hamburg hat. In 1 week, I locked up all the blow, all the cocaine. I locked up everything. I asked anybody there. I locked it all up. The party is over. I would come by all of the management team to pick them up to go to the hills, and they wouldn't answer the door. And them big old Cadillacs in those days had air ride, and if you just got home, it would be going them load levelers would be, and you could hear it. The other thing is you put your hand on the engine, and that boy would be hot, the hood, put your hand, this boys, y'all in there now. Once in a while you could get them out, but they'd be hiding. But I wasn't. I was going to them hills, and I was working out. And I remembered, he didn't, Willie Ward never remembered what he said. He just thought this was this game he was talking about. Keep that up, you're going to be captain of the ship. That was my last supper, blow. That's it. And I stayed like that. I mean, even when I was in South America, I didn't go crazy. That fixed me good. And whatever I did, I was still going to them hills every morning in South America and everything. Anyway, where was I at? So I want to mention that we never fell for anything. I mean, little bitty stuff. I was telling y'all before about, I was running in the hills one day, and we go around the loop sometime. And the white man and the white woman, this police, both of them polices. The white girl ran right around in front of me and stopped where I could still see her and bent over to tie a shoe, pretended to be tying a shoe. And that girl bent over, she crossed her leg like that, and I could see up in her vagina, up in that boy. I said, this is the nicest looking vagina I've seen. That is a nice, they must have picked her vagina out of it. They had to have something where everybody had to show their thing, and then I'm telling you, I said, that is, now I'm unmarried now for 13 years at that time. I'm really unmarried. And first of all, don't nobody believe it. Everybody's looking at every wood pile they can. They said, there's a nigga in the wood pile somewhere. That's the whole saying. In other words, this nigga is celibate. I don't believe it. And they, look here, about 15 years, and at the choice time, when you juiced up and full of juice, and I just didn't want to be married. I've had too much to do. So that stuff would happen all the time. I could tell you a million, I couldn't mention nothing. I remember I was telling y'all one time about me and the Negroes sitting next to me. We was talking about Negro women with hair on their legs. White girls shave their hair. And how that hair on their legs make your flesh crawl almost, and be so stimulating. I'm telling you, it couldn't have been no more than 2 days later. A Negro woman walked in with a dress up to here and had the hairish leg. They have to have a show or something where they walk by. You know what I mean? Down at the police station, they must have a list. Who's got the hairiest legs out of all our Negro women? Hairy, shapely legs. Because that's what that was. And I said it 2 days before. I could talk about this stuff all day long. If I talk about, in 1990, I'm going to the ISLA convention. And so the brother said, you can use my